So a little bit about CitiObs. It is a European project with a lot of partners from all over Europe. And we are working together to give a bigger role for citizen science observatories for healthy, sustainable, resilient, inclusive cities. So it's about environmental issues. And we are working with citizen observatories that are already existing, and we hope to enhance their role and to make it to make their to make sure that their work has more impact. So the challenge there is that policy and decision makers are working to make the cities better places by making the air pollution, attacking air pollution and things like that. And citizen scientists are often also working on that subject. They are collecting valuable data, but there is a mismatch between the policy uptake of this data, and it's a struggle for citizens to be taken serious and for policymakers to use this data in a proper way. And that is the big challenge, and that is what we are working on in CitiObs, to bring these parties closer together. So to enhance the role of the citizen science projects by working on the connections that there are between the scientists, the policymakers, and the citizen science communities, so that these can work together more effectively to have more impact. So we try to bring all these parties together and to have them work together to generate data that can be used really for policy and for research. And then we are also working with the citizen science communities so that they can make local actions and make them more effective by helping them also to learn from each other. So that is why a lot of citizen science observatories are invited to join the project so that we can all learn from each other and make a giant European network or even global. So in one slide, this is what the project is all about. So what you should realize is that citizen science is not just about the numbers, it's also about the social processes behind the numbers. So if you're collecting data, then you should also to be able to collect the data, you should also form communities, have contact with stakeholders, work on the communication. So all these parts, all these dimensions, these technical and social dimensions, these are all addressed in CitiObs, and we try out the different topics while working together with these citizen observatories. And so we had some front-runner cases, some alliance cases, fellow cases, and we try to bring them all together and have them learn from each other. And we also have a lot of knowledge collected in the CitiObs cookbook. And what we are going to work with today is one of these cookbooks, and that is the environmental monitoring cookbook or toolbox. Yeah. So, and you can find this toolbox in the CitiObs knowledge platform. So that is the place where we try to bring together all the knowledge that we as CitiObs partners have, but we also want to include all the knowledge that has been gathered by the citizen observatories that participate in the CitiObs project. And this is the link to the platform, so you can have a look yourself. But we will spend this roadshow meeting exploring a part of this knowledge platform. Then a little bit about other ways to work together. We also, there are a lot of communities of practice that we are involved in, and that we invite everybody to also become involved in. So there is the European Citizen Science Association Air Quality Working Group for people working on air quality. Nuria and I, we are co-chairs, so it is really a way to exchange knowledge and information for really everybody who's working on air quality. But EXA also has other working groups, so you can also check out what other working groups there are that may fit the best with actually your needs. So check out all these communities of practice, and that brings me to the last slide, because I don't want to talk too much about CitiObs. We need to talk more about your what you are doing as participants. So just one slide to thank you and to show you that there are already quite a number of countries involved in this project. So you should be able to find somebody quite close to you. So I'm going to stop sharing now. And I guess I give the word now to Oscar, who is going to tell us a little bit about the toolkit and the knowledge.
Hester, I will first share just a bit more about the knowledge platform so people feel familiar with it.
Sorry. Yeah.
And then I'll pass over to Oscar. Thank you so much. So hi, everybody. I will share my screen with you. I think you can now see it, the CitiObs knowledge platform. Yeah, so this is accessible through our CitiObs website, which we have shared with you in the past, but we can also, maybe someone can put it in the chat, and then if it's not already there. And yeah, so you access the knowledge platform through the website. And basically the knowledge platform has three main components. It's like our storage of all of the tools and knowledge and information that have been gathered through the project and with all of the citizen observatories and initiatives that we've worked with. So first and foremost, we have a forum section, which was created in part because different citizen observatories were saying that they need a space to talk to each other more. So you can see that there's different forums through which you can participate in discussions and also ask questions and get answers. The Net Zero Cities, CitiObs Cases Group, Smart Citizen Forum. So for people who are using the sensors or who have requested the sensors and will be using them, you can check out what's here for questions that have already been asked, but also asking your own questions. And then we have a couple of other more specifically geographically focused forums, and then as well as the larger citizen science and air quality community of practice. So that's just a nice place to be able to exchange with one another. Then we have the working with data section. So inside this section, we have all of our tools that are about working with data. So if you're looking for guidance, if you're looking for options about it, you can go in here and explore this, and we'll work a little bit within this section today. And then the third section is working with your community. So these are all of our tools and lessons learned about engagement practices, participation, trying to work with different types of stakeholders, but also setting up your CO in the first place and wanting to really ground it strongly methodologically. There are frameworks that you can follow or you can draw on with your own that you're setting up. So I definitely, in other road shows, we'll probably get more into this side of it. So we'd love to see you for those as well. Um, yeah, so with that, I will then pass over to Oscar.
Thank you. Let me share my screen now and let me know if you can, when you can see it. Okay, can you see my screen?
Yes,
Yes, we can.
perfect.
Thank you. So if you go to the knowledge platform, let me just go back. As though I was just showing you, there are different, different sections. And one of those sections will end up being this toolkit. The toolkit is the CitiObs Environmental Monitoring Toolkit. The idea here that, sorry, maybe you can unmute if you don't mind, so that we don't have background noise. So this toolkit is aimed to cover the different steps that you need to consider when planning environmental monitoring. So we talk about different aspects that we consider relevant to the monitoring. So we start discussing what is needed, for instance, to conduct what things do we need to consider before conducting environmental monitoring and planning our campaign. We talk about things like how to ask the right questions. We think that this is really relevant to avoid just measuring and putting sensors out there, but without really knowing what we want to do. So we have a section dedicated to that with a lot of collected experience from our all our partners, and trying to really set the, the the right path from the beginning so that our monitoring campaigns make sense and we don't end up trapped in just with the sensors and over time we don't have meaningful data that really relates to the problems that we want to solve. Also have sections on understanding a little bit who is who in the field of environmental monitoring. So we understand a little bit what are the environmental agencies, WHO, and especially, of course, the citizen observatories that we're working with. And in general, you will see that beyond this section, there's a lot more other materials. For instance, we talk about sensors, data platforms, data management, integrating and sharing data, and even community aspects. So just delving through some of those, you can see from discussions or sections in which you can learn a little bit what is a sensor. So what is or a sensing device, what are the main components, how it is built, what options are out there. You also have a section for people that are receiving the CitiObs devices on how to assemble the Smart Citizen Kit with very detailed videos and instructions on how to do that. Sections on data platforms, what are the main components of a data platform, how can you choose, or what aspects to consider when choosing one, and so on and so forth. So as you see, the toolkit is quite comprehensive, and we hope that this is useful. We're going to work on it today, and we will have some activities planned with you. Before going to the next steps, what I want to show you is as well how you can contribute to this toolkit, because we don't want this to be just our own material, but we want this to be material that we create all together and that we don't assume that is perfect at this moment. So the toolkit is open source. The material can be found on GitHub, and you can give feedback and contributions to it. You see these little buttons here on the right hand side. These help as an immediate feedback. You can say whether or not this content was helpful, and you can just put a little comment on it. So that is one of the main methods in which you can provide feedback. But also you can send us an email or just provide feedback or a contribution directly on GitHub. So I think that for the email is pretty straightforward. You can also use this template if you want. But for GitHub, I will just show you how to do that right now. So if you go to this button right here, this button will take you to the CitiObs toolkit on GitHub, which is this page, and I will paste this also on the chat. So that page that you see here is basically the content of the toolkit. And in here you can engage with the material as with any other project that is open source. You need to have an account on GitHub, of course, but besides that, that's the only thing that you need. So if you want to contribute, there are two ways. You can open an issue or a pull request. An issue is basically a ticket, is a complaint or a comment that you have identified something that you would like to fix. So you can go to issues and write new issue, and then just type in what the concern is. For instance, error on devices page, and maybe you can provide a link to the page and explain what it is, and then I'll get a notification, or we'll get a notification, and we will review it and try to fix it. And here we have a conversational interface in which we can have a small conversation. Maybe there is a discussion on how to fix it, and we can follow up on the different actions that stem from this issue. This is if you don't know how to contribute, because you can also directly contribute to the toolkit itself. And in this section, you can open a pull request. So if you wanted, for instance, to open a pull request and you know how to do so, you can all do it right here. I will just do a small demo on how to do it just now. Here you have all the different sections of the toolkit, and you can go to any of these sections. I will just go, for instance, to the Smart Citizen Kit, which is going to be probably the easiest. How to set up the Smart Citizen Kit. So this is the content that the Smart Citizen Kit website has. So this is exactly the same material as you can see here. And you can literally just click on this button and you have an editor interface. In this editor interface, you can say these are this screwdriver is wrong. You don't need a Phillips screwdriver. You need 3 Phillips screwdrivers, and then you can hit commit. And you will not have permissions to commit directly to the main branch, but you can create a new branch and create a pull request. So you can select this and propose changes. And this is it. Now, when you add a description here, Phillips screwdrivers, you can create a pull request, and we will receive your comments and contributions, and we can review them, accept them, and then they will be part of the toolkit. So you can be part of the material and contributions to the toolkit. You will, of course, be cited as contributors in the contributors page. So we have already 11 contributors in the toolkit, and we hope to have many more if you find errors or mistakes or you want to improve it. And the most important takeaway is that this is going to stay live after for a long time, and we want to make this a collective effort so that we can improve it and make it comprehensive and useful for people. And if you find ways to improve it, please let us know. There's many ways that you can provide feedback, either by issues, pull requests, or by email as well. And now I pass it on, I don't know to who, I guess back to Hester, I think.
Yes, I guess. But I will pass it on again, because now we will have some short presentations from some CitiObs cases. And I really look forward to them. But I don't know, are we supposed to share the slides? or do they share the slides themselves?
From our case, I have the slides to share from Web to Learn, Early Limnos Initiative.
Okay, so that is a great idea, because then I give the word now to the alumnus project in Greece. Looking forward to hear your story.
Great, thank you very much. Let me share my screen, and thank you for the invitation to share Early Limnos Plus initiative in this roadshow session. My name is Corina Deftereu, and I will present the Limnos initiative from Web to Learn, along with my colleague Panagiotta Fabrikanou. So, Early Limnos is an initiative which aims to enhance schools and local community participation in air quality advocacy and research. It started in 2024 from Web to Learn, which is a research and development company based in Thessaloniki, Greece. And now I will share a very short video on how the initiative expanded over the last year. So, as you have seen in this map-based video presentation, we have installed 10 smart citizen sensors, which we have received from CitiObs, in 9 schools in 5 different locations in Greece. 2 urban cities, Athens and Thessaloniki, the 2 biggest cities of Greece, and 3 islands, Lefkada Island on the Ionian Sea, and Limnos and Agios Evstratios Island on the Aegean Sea. Moreover, beyond the deployment of the sensors, we have also organized workshops with students and teachers in all these schools, and we have involved more than 300 students and 20 teachers. But what else have we achieved this last year? Web to Learn team has participated in a study visit in Brussels, funded by CitiObs. In this study visit, we had the opportunity to exchange knowledge and experience with other citizen observatories from all over the Europe. Moreover, Web to Learn has developed the Early Limnos dashboard, which collects data from all these sensors installed and creates data visualizations. And finally, Web to Learn has initiated a new EU-funded project in the school sector, STEMIS, which engages teachers and students in action-oriented projects for air and water quality monitoring. And I'm very happy to see that colleagues from this consortium are also part of today's roadshow. And now I will hand over to my colleague Panagiotta for presenting the team behind this initiative.
Thank you, Corina, and hello, everyone. And I will start with no other than our director, Katerina Zourou, who is the one who envisions these ideas and transforms them to concrete initiatives by guiding us, coordinating the team, because as you can see, we have 2 sectors. We have the education and the technology sector, and constantly growing. So we started as Early Limnos in Limnos, and now we have Early Limnos Plus because we're in so many new areas. So Corina, Stefania Economou, and me are part of the education sector. We work with the schools, we create the educational materials, and we also have Andreas Kouzelis and Andreas Darsaklis in the technology department. They are the ones who developed the dashboard and made it possible to bring together data in one accessible platform, including not only commercial sensors, but also sensors that were DIY, made yourself by students in the Limnos Robotics Club. So I wanted, Corina, if you can go to the next slide. And here you can see an overview of all the workshops that we had with schools all over Greece. And since we're in schools, I would like to talk to you about the two important lessons that we learned during the implementation of Erlimnos. The one is the importance of schools as hubs, not only of knowledge, but of citizen science. Schools are places where when students participate in projects, the knowledge does not stay within the class. It travels and it goes to their families, to their friends, to the clubs that they take part, like the Limnos Robotics Club or the Nautical Club of Thessaloniki here in Greece, where we also implemented one of the CitiObs sensors. So in this way, schools become very powerful dissemination pathways, and it is very important, especially here in Greece, because schools are one of the few stable and active hubs that bring together people on a daily basis. Unfortunately, we lack those, so we lack the dissemination of knowledge, and we found that schools can do that. The second lesson comes from working in remote areas, and we see that in this border region, such as, for example, in Agios Evstratios and even in Limnos, sometimes access to equipment can be limited. So for this, we showed to the students that they can make the air quality sensors on their own with limited materials, teaching them that they can have autonomy, problem-solving skills, and they do not have to rely on external expertise or expensive technologies. Instead, they can become active members of the community of knowledge, and they can produce knowledge that then goes to the dashboard that we have created on Air Limnos, making them feel like what they do is an actual contribution, and it is, and showing them that through small things that they do in this island, they can connect to a global network of all these sensors. So these are two very important lessons about citizen science, how important it is in schools, and how important it is to exist in remote areas. And this was thanks to Air Limnos and CitiObs. So thank you very much.
Yes, great story. Thank you. Beautiful. And we have more stories.
Alexandru is here.
Yeah. Hello. If
Hello.
they are not presenting, I will take the mic if you allow me. My name is Alexander Lucian. I represent Cluj City Sense and I come from Cluj-Napoca, Romania. So if you allow me, I will share my screen. I believe you can see it. Yeah.
Yes.
So
Yes.
the story begins 8 years ago with a project named Drop of Air, where I have created do-it-yourself air quality sensors and put it all over the country. So with the help of CitiObs, I wanted to go further and to populate a city where I'm living. So that's Cluj-Napoca. So instead of taking sensors, build it home because I'm electronic passionate and IoT, I have took the kits and was much more easier and was quite a pleasure to work with them. So Cluj City Sense, it's one of the two projects from Romania, and we are from the same city, from Cluj, also with the smart radon, and we glad we join this CitiObs session because we received the package that contain almost 20 sensors. And I have prepared the outside boxes. I don't know, the Wi-Fi router, all the screwdriver, and anything we needed, and managed to create the first workshop with real citizens from the city, with teachers from high schools, teachers from universities, students, and a lot of people that was interested about air quality. Usually, I'm putting at least one per week information about air quality from local platforms. So this workshop was quite on fast forward, so not many people join, but after that a lot of people show interest. So we managed to take the data from the smart sensor platforms and implement it in the local platforms where we got already sensors over there. So the nice thing is that we can see, beside pollution, also noise pollution, and we have also index of UV and light. So another platform is under construction to give people access to those informations. Beside that, I have teach and involve students in this kind of social project, because last year I was implementing a project named Air in Our Schools. And this year, with these sensors, come with an extra boost of data about pollution, because I have mounted the sensors all over the city, in the outside universities, outside schools, to get data from all over the places. More about that. Our big university, Babes Bolyai from Cluj-Napoca, has an open science conference and open science office, and they were invited me to talk about these two projects. I manage one about air quality and Cluj City Sense, and another one about water quality. So a lot of researchers and teacher was very delighted to see the sensors and whatever we managed to do with this citizen science implication of the people. One of the sensors was used to a small study in some university where it was measured sound, temperature, and humidity, and tested some isolation. They created artificial isolation, and they wanted to see how good it is. So this kind of sensors can also help research area also. More of uh, more of that. I have used the GPS sensors to collect offline data when I was running around the city. So I was the guy with the sensors around the city, and after that, putted all the information on some online maps. You can also check with scanning that QR code. So it was quite interesting to check and to see what's the influence of the trees, what's the influence of the shadow, or other kind of parks and so on in the city. After that, with my kids, we have make offline monitoring for the route to school. So from home to school, we have measured air quality to see how bad it is, the walking route. And we have discovered that inside the bus, the PM 2.5 was higher than outside. So I was collecting data for 1 week, and in every morning inside the bus, the PM 2.5 it's higher than outside. It was better if the PM sensor was the next generation, SEN 6X, because the next generation had CO2 and VOC also embedded. And I have tested to see if it's working. So it's working also the next generation on this kind of kits. But the problem could be with the power supply. One is working on the 5 volts and the other on 3.5. And going to the end, I want to tell you that this kind of sensors, this kind of equipment could be improved, because a lot of people said, okay, I want to put these sensors in the balcony without power cable, and I have tested, and 2 of my sensors are working off the grid. I have exchanged the battery from the inside and increased it to 8,000 milliamps, or maybe to 10,000 if because we have a lot of spaces, and with a small 5 watts solar panel, we see that we managed to have we have managed to have enough power. So thank you very much for your attention. There is a lot of things to do. Another platform, maybe another batch of sensors, because these kind of things need to continue and need to involve more people, students, and schools and university. Thank you.
Yes, great work. Thank you very much. It's a very interesting road you're on. Yeah.
I'm not sure if our next speaker is here. If not, maybe we can take some moments for questions. Hester, what do you think?
Yeah, I think there may be some questions for these wonderful projects.
Yeah, really inspiring projects.
So were there questions already in the chat that people want to open the mic and ask? I see that a lot of people have already started with exchanging information and starting to make connections, which is exactly what CitiObs is all about, I suppose.
Yes, I will paste also in the chat the links with those maps that I was reconstructing the offline data, and maybe others can use it to create their own. Thank you.
Richard, do you have a question?
Yes, I do. My name is Richard Muraya from Kenya. First, very congratulations to Alexandru for that very candid demonstration on how we can collect data on citizen science. Perhaps I wanted to also share with you that we've developed software which can do the readings and help you with the storytelling part. It will combine air quality data, and especially if you're also collecting noise data, it does the entire analysis for you. Unfortunately, I don't have the link. We are still finalizing it before the end of the week. Perhaps I could share it with you so that we can see how we can be able to integrate such data. Because my question is, which air quality monitor are you using for the for your work?
There was the kit 2.3 with SEN 55. So there was 18 without GPS and 2 with GPS. So those 2 with GPS I'm using for offline measuring, yeah, because I have also the location. and the other I am mounting them to the schools and university in fixed location. But that's why the next I don't have the version for the indoor. I believe I will test it soon. But for the indoor, there was other things to measure like CO2, VOC, and other things. So yeah, we I will see the next round. And collecting data, as you said, require a lot of time, and you can learn a lot of information from gathering data. At least in Romania, we have 4 seasons, so depending also in which season are you measuring, because in the summer everything is sunny, everything is nice, hot outside, sunny, and no pollution. But in the winter, the things are getting different. So will be interesting to measure all over the year, 365 days.
Okay. David, you have a question?
Yeah, hello. I had just a question for the 2 projects. So you collected, I mean, great data, engaged with different types of people. What were the outputs? What are you trying to achieve? Have you connected typically with the decision makers? What have you done with the data? Because collecting, of course, is important, but how was it used after then with the other people? And because we saw that with students, so bring awareness, but typically with decision makers, have you had any contacts and outreach?
Yes, if I can also respond to that. Yes, I'm collecting data. So I am, first of all, presenting to all the people around the city. I am posting them on groups that are interested about air quality. So that's the part of awareness and information. The second part is what you mentioned, going to the city hall or the policymakers. So I already have a meeting scheduled for going to the city hall. I believe with some of your colleagues, Hilda, I believe, or something like that. She proposed to go and present this to the local authorities. I am already well known here in the city that I'm doing this for the past 8 years. So the mayor is avoiding me. So that's a good thing. So everything I do, it's well known and taken and replicated in the media, in the online. So the information is passing through. And also I have a connection to the Brussels Parliament, where I was working for the air quality directive 2 years ago. So there is work in progress with Nicu Ștefănuță. It's some vice president there. It's from Romania. So when he was working on that directive, I was directly involved, talking with him, tell what's the problem from the bottom up. So they propose to change also I don't know, the numbers, a lot of the station to mounted around the city, and everything to be changed. I don't know how it's in other countries, but in Romania we have 182 national stations, so it's quite a small number. I have mounted more than 250 sensors myself, do-it-yourself and low-cost sensors. So it's fighting against the wind, but it's a work in progress. Thank you, David.
Okay, maybe also from Erlin Monos, their experience.
Yes, from our experience, we have shared with schools teachers the dashboard that collects all the data, and we gave them some ideas on how they can use this data on class assignments with their students, especially to subject areas that are relevant with data, for example, to teachers of mathematics or to teachers of biology, and how they could use this kind of data to create new assignments for students in their curriculum, and to discuss on the changes that they may see in the data collected regarding the air quality, etc. So this was our first approach for disseminating this platform and empowering teachers of these schools to use the data collected from their school. And then at Limnos, we are in contact with the local authorities to present this initiative and all the data collected for Limnos Island.
Okay. But the mayor is not ducking away when you are approaching yet.
You know how local authorities are. It's not always easy to approach them, to persuade them, but we keep going, and we try with scientific data, to advocate for the air quality.
Yeah. So that I am myself involved in school projects, and I noticed that local politicians are a lot less scared of school students coming with data about air quality than adults. So somehow the local policymakers seem to be more open to school kids than to other people. So I don't know if I see both of you nodding, so maybe you can comment a little bit on that also, Alexander.
Yes, indeed, the policymakers are more aware when you approach the schools, yeah, because it's the sensitive thing. So all the grown-up people, the parents are interested what my kid is breathing near the school where he's staying much of the time, yeah, 50% of the time. So indeed, if you manage to do a parallel thing, because I'm doing also school how you call it, education about sustainability. We have 1 week per year where you go to schools and talk about something else. So in the past 5 years, I'm going to all the schools from my city and talk about pollution, air pollution, water pollution, sustainability, the way of living, the good way of living. And past year, I was also donate a sensor to the classrooms. Okay, when you see this light going to red, please open the window. And you must do a learning curve, learning education in parallel with implementing the project. So in the end, teachers with the high schools or schools managers, you can use them to make the awareness bigger and bigger with, I don't know, with advocates, and after that go to the city hall. We want to do this. We want to close this street and let it only for the bicycle and people to walk. So this is working. I have seen in the past 10 years around the cities, a lot of the street has been closed and given back to the people. So I believe we need awareness and projects that to be implemented, because this kind of data, it's data, black data on the white board, and you can see that it's no more noise, no more pollution, you can hear the birds and the kids are happy. So I believe it's an ongoing process. Yes, it's hard, but you need to find out the ways, what's the trigger point. Thanks.
Yep.
Of course, and if I can add something, because we have worked in different locations all over Greece, it's very difficult. It's very different to work in a small local community, for example, in Limnos or in the island of Lefkada, and very difficult to work with schools in Athens, a huge area. So when you are to the local community, to a small village or a small island, the impact can be greater, as you can, through these workshops and this initiative, you can affect also the parents or the wider community of the school. This is more difficult when you work in big cities, or, for example, in Thessaloniki or Athens, where there are many schools. The audience and the community is much bigger. So it depends also on the location.